When is black men gonna stand up and determine the destiny of their own children and say that this is how they should learn, this is what they should learn, and this is the environment that they should learn in? Time to man up. The black man in the community is about to man up because we believe that it is our divine duty to change the world. And we first starting with our own community today are in shambles. But we manning up to change the world.
Who's the brother walking through the hood? Brother D. Shaking hands, making friends. It's Brother D. Who's the brother spreading love through his community? Straight from Flint, Michigan, it's Brother D. Now who's the brother walking through the hood? Brother D. Shaking hands, making friends. It's Brother D. Who's the
Flint time. These young men, these young boys, all under the age of 13, they our future. But this society has already sentenced them to death. They say that 75% of all black males in grade school, still in the 6th grade and under, will be in the penitentiary one day. This world has already plotted and planned their death. These young innocent babies don't even understand the world they're about to grow into that has no respect for black males. But look at them. Because this society has already said, has already planned, has already predicted their demise. They're not counting on these young black men, these young black boys to be leaders in their community, to be business owners in their community, to be teachers in their community. They already got it planned for them to be in the penitentiary, strung out on drugs, running around with no hope, no belief in self, no understanding of self. So me and you, Brother D and all other men, got to step up to avert what this world has planned for these young black boys.
You know, I can't stand it, Joe. When I be
Go
hit,
get my phone.
when I be hit with the you racist and you this because you that. I'm gonna put it like this. See, anybody, any nationality of people, I'm gonna give him exactly what I'm seeking. I'm gonna give him his due. I'm gonna give him respect. I ain't gonna judge you because you white. I'm gonna treat you as an individual, even though I know collectively what has been white folks have done on this earth. But you will be judged as an individual by the content of your character, like Martin Luther King said. I'll feed a white guy if I had it just as quick as I'll feed a black man. See, what I submit to, God require that of me, but it don't require that I be brainwashed, blind, and weak because I want to be nice and friendly and respectable and love all people. See, that's what they don't understand. That because we are aware of our condition and aware of the perpetrators of the crime, that don't make us treat everybody, but we'll never do. That ain't even in our nature. My grandmother told me stories of how she watched men. She used to clean their house, clean their toilets. They come home, laugh what they done did. She never visualized, but then she'd see the people after it happened. Right. Yeah, we beat that nigga to death. And she couldn't do nothing. She's seen this all the time. But not once in her life did she tell us to hate anybody.
Right.
She told us to love all people. In her experience, the experience that she had as a person, she would have been justified.
Right.
In telling us to hate everybody.
Right.
But it wasn't a part of her nature. No matter how much devilishment she's seen those people commit against her own, she still believed in treat everybody equal fair. And she never told us to hate nobody.
And you know what? That's where it's at now, man. Like, we got all these movements. I love the Black Lives movement, Black Lives Matter movement. I hear the critics out there saying all lives. Yeah, of course Black Lives Matter. I mean, all lives matter, but it's the black lives who is being devalued. Exactly. And as a black man and as a black person, I have to advocate for my people. Whenever there's any, they tell you this in Islam, when you see any form of injustice, it's injustice everywhere. And that's just what we about, man. We trying to help our people, uplift our people, and you know, in this environment, I think one of our number one struggles is lack of economical development. Because you can give, man, we had the economical empowerment we would be at a much, crime will be reduced. A lot of this stuff will be reduced. So it's on us to become self-reliant and economically independent. If you look at the Jewish dollar, it circulates, 20-some days before it leaves the community. Yeah. The whites, and believe it or not, Arabs, they all considered to be whites. Yeah. The Asians, everybody circulate at least 3 weeks to a month. The dollar circulates before it leaves the community. But you look at the blacks, it circulates 3 hours, if that.
And all that is considered as being in your pocket. You know, it ain't considered. When it say 3 hours, it don't mean that it actually move about in black businesses. You know, it's in your pocket. You know, you may not, you get your check, and it might be a couple hours before you go and pay everybody and do all the things you got to do. And this is something that our people haven't been on for years, strong. See, do for self economic development has not ever been a universal movement embraced by most of the leaders. Never. Now, integration, civil rights was embraced from the top to the bottom. It was kind of like imposed on the bottom, but it was embraced at the top everywhere. But this thing, economic development, do for self, build our own, has not yet been embraced. And that's what make it hard for brothers like me and you, man, because we ain't, if now we was big time church pastors, we pastored big time churches, or we was
mega churches.
Yeah, we had to change, because the gun from top of us would be pointing down like these niggas ain't finna go there, right? Right. Because you got brothers like T.D.J. Creflo Dollar, Bishop Eddie Long, who could be on that tip. Mm-hmm. And once they went to the millions more movement and stood with Farrakhan, they all denounced him after that. Because the millions more movement was about economic development. It happened right around Katrina. And all the leaders came along. And I watched the clip where Farrakhan said him and Eddie Long had it packed. They was ready to roll out. He finna put up about 50. He finna put up 50. And they gonna go from there. He said after they had the little union, the little state of Black America in his church, Eddie Long came and told him, said, man, I can't do it. I caught all kind of hell just for having you in my church.
The illusion of inclusion. The illusion of inclusion where you get, these so-called leaders, these black leaders, they feel like they made it because they successful economically. Yeah. They got all this material wealth. Yeah. Now they feel like successful. Now you don't even want to deal with the people who need to get put on your level. Yeah. You look down upon them and you scared to deal with the real issues because guess what? Guess who pay your bills? Oprah Winfrey. I love Oprah Winfrey, but let's be honest. You build a school in Africa, but you can build one in Chicago. You can build a hospital in Chicago. Look at it's many people that have opportunity. We got all these blacks. Do they give back to their colleges they went through? You have some, but I guarantee you, most rich whites, they donate millions, billions of dollars to where they come from, to their neighborhoods. When you get when corporate America control your revenues, your money, they can control you.
Yeah, they control your
So it's only so much they can do. Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to be self-reliant and self-sufficient.
Because we witnessing it now. Cosby, man, Bill Cosby gave black institutions, man, millions. The shirt off his back almost. Millions. He flooded the civil rights cause with his money. He was hands off, but hey, whatever you need, you go to check, you fill it in. And now, the society on his back, and he really can't get much love from his own people, man. His own people helping them shoot him down. When we supposed to put a ring of protection around our people. You know why Bill Clinton wasn't impeached? He had one part of white folks coming at his head trying to impeach him. But he had another patch or group of white folks who respected the good that he did and the man that he was like, no, that ain't gonna happen. So now Bill Cosby out here lingering. He got just as many. He got so many black folks attacking him. Oh, they ain't gonna do nothing about it, man. He can't even get a ring of protection around him, really, simply because they said he did it.
Right.
It happen like that all the time, brothers, man. But the solutions, the things that's about to change. Flint, just let me run a few things. See, it's getting to a point where you got some Muslims and some Christians, they don't care no more about the difference.
Right.
Man, whatever you got to offer, whatever I got to offer, let's just put it together and get something done. It's getting to a point to where we're going to have an alternative school for black males. There ain't going to be none in school. Because they almost to the point where they don't have no faith in school. You can be some 9-year-old boys right now today, bro. 10, 9, 8 years old. And if you ask them what they want to be, what their dreams is, it ain't got nothing to do with school. Mm-hmm. They don't even believe that going to school, that this much labor for a high school diploma, a college degree, internship, they don't even believe that this pan out for them. One of the reasons why, because their environment that they come from, they don't know many men who have succeeded down that course. So eventually, soon and very soon, we're going to have to either have an alternative for them or just give up. And so many already gave up. Eventually, soon and very soon, if you ain't sweeping the parking lot for cigarettes and beer, they ain't hiring nobody around these stores. And who want to be playing like that? See, just imagine if we owned our own stores in our community and you went down there and you seen black men behind the counter. That's an image that'll be planted in your mind that you can achieve. See, I can believe that I can achieve it because I come up here every day and I see 4 or 5 brothers back here in this day stuff. So I can believe that I can achieve that in my mind. Just like every day when you get up, you see 4 or 5 brothers on the block. You begin to believe that you can achieve that.
Right. You believe
that's what
you're the Birdman.
Yeah, I can be the Birdman too.
Yeah, I think a lot of the conditions, you know, things have been laid out there. But it's like what you said. To see it is to believe it. Yeah. To believe it is to see it, and we got to change these conditions around here, man. And I always advocate for it. You know, I don't, people will say I'm a hater and all that type of stuff, but the truth is, the brother Ice Cube, he had a son. I love this song. In one of his albums, it was about 5 or 6 years ago, I believe. He said, if we want to change our reality, we got to change our hood mentality. And those lyrics, it rung in my head, and I was like, wow, that's so true. I see a lot of people complain about they ain't got no money, they ain't got no jobs, they got a felony on their record, they got this, women, they ain't got no help with their children. But at the end of the day, even though we know these factors have been placed upon us, guess what we got to do? Come on, sister, preserve yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Preserve yourself, protect yourself, guard your chastity, guard your mind, guard your spirituality. Come on, brother. Sacrifice, go to school, get that education. Whether it's this or that, educate yourself. Be a champion. Don't fall victim to what you see out here. Be a leader, young black male. When you see another young black brother, guide him in the right steps. Show him. Don't let him see you do the things you shouldn't do. Because no matter if you tell a kid, don't do what I do, do what I say, guess what? That kid gonna do what you do regardless. Sure. Be a good example. Sure. You go to these neighborhoods, man, now, I remember when I was little, we identified the neighborhoods by the schools. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's colonialism. Yeah. But now the neighborhoods are so broken and dilapidated, we identify the neighborhoods by liquor stores. Yeah. Mini Mart, Paradise, D&H. You feel what I'm saying?
D&H. I heard somebody say that. And
it's sad that those so-called institutions have become safe havens. It's not a safe haven, but it's looked at as a safe haven for our children. Yeah. I'm going to go up here. I got to make me some money. I'm finna go hustle. Yeah. and it breeds nothing but violence. So we got to put out good things, man. In order for our people to do that, we have to start practicing good things.
Yeah.
We got to start being better role models, better fathers, better mothers, better uncles, better leaders in our community, man, and set that example, or we gonna get the same results.
Yeah. And in the conclusion, as we conclude, that's what I want to touch on before we leave here. Flint, touch on the importance of family. And I want to say this. Family is the foundation of community, neighborhood, and nation. Ain't none of that happening. Ain't no community without no families. Ain't no nation without families. And families are supposed to consist of men, women, and then children. See, a man and a woman come together and make children. And if a brother on the street you've been knowing all your life could be your fam, that's my fam. How is it that you and this woman share a child together? And she ain't considered your fam. If you and this woman then brought a child into this world, be all together or not, you got to be fam. If you and this brother just been knowing each other for 10 years and you probably ain't always been right with each other, but you still consider him family, the woman and the man who share a child together got to be family. But we got to take it a little bit more serious than that, man. Because I'm going to tell you something. As a young man, I first had my child, 18, when somebody told me, hey man, when the lady told me I'm pregnant, I'm looking at her like, I didn't say it wasn't mine, but I'm looking like, what I'm supposed to do?
Right.
Because I didn't have, and I had a father, but I didn't know what I was supposed to do. Because the only time I remember my daddy is when I was big. Mm-hmm. See, I didn't remember him when I was little, and then he didn't school me, so I didn't know what to do.
Right.
So, as an early father, my son and daughter, man, I made major mistakes. Was on the brink of losing them for good. In fact, my son had a problem with the man I am today as a father. I got an 11-year-old and a 2-year-old, and they stay up under me. I stay involved. I'm not married to their mother, but I treat their mother like family. Mm-hmm. And my son has said to me before, like, damn, man, what happened when I was coming up? I said, look, son, I'm a better man at 40-something than I was at 20-something. You gonna be too. Just keep on living. And you ought to be happy for them. Be happy for them. But it's my fault. But as men, we got to school them, man, so they won't make the same mistakes. See, I don't want my son to have to say that when he's 40. I don't want my son to have a child now and then tell him, man, I was bold when you came into the world. So if I school him, train him, then I can break that curse. Right. See, I'm going to tell you another thing. As men, that we had to chill with. And it may be natural when you don't give women the right respect when you're kind of young because you may not know. But we cannot let that linger on. And the earlier that we get them to treat them what a woman really is, the better off it'll be. Because if a sister running around here and she don't know no elders, they bold too now. They don't know. If they never had a man in their life or father in their life, they don't know. I tell my daughters all the time. I'm going to say this, I'm going to let Tip take over. My 11-year-old daughter, for the last 3 weeks I've been telling her, you ain't going to have no man. You're going to have a husband. When you and I know she looking at liking boys now, she 11, and I let her know I'm up on it. You can't fool me. She think I know everything sometimes. Daddy, you know everything. Yeah, I do. Everything about you with my child. But this is my point. I'm teaching her. It's going to become a time you're going to be old enough to have male friends. But you never tell a man that he your man and you his woman if he ain't married in the eyes of God. Now, I'm drilling that in her head. And some people are like, man, that's kind of bold. That's kind of accepted. You're going to run her away. Well, I'd rather run her away with the truth than let her grow and build into a lie, man. I'd rather run away with real principles than let her run away on some garbage. At least if she run away, she may have a few experience. But she said, my daddy sure told me about this. But if I ain't putting nothing there, and she run away, and she get all involved, she just gonna go in it because she ain't got nothing to refer back to. So whether you think it can be successful or not, you can't keep telling your child, girl, don't mess with no nigga ain't got no money. That ain't how you tell your baby to go, man. You tell your babies, especially if they got a daddy, that he got to be something like me. I die for you. I take my shirt off my back for you. I do anything for you and ain't got to touch you. And you need to pick a man like that, a husband.
Family, man, I think that's one of the most, actually, that's probably the most important thing for the development of our society, man, and our people and our culture. Without the family structure, we're doomed. And I just want, the people to know, like, it's time for us, man, we gotta build dynasties. When you think of family, you think of the king, the prince, then the prince have a son.
When is black men gonna stand up and determine the destiny of their own children and say that this is how they should learn, this is what they should learn, and this is the environment that they should learn in? Time to man up. The black man in the community is about to man up because we believe that it is our divine duty to change the world. And we first starting with our own communities that they are in shambles. But we manning up.
You'll never get in the world like that. What's that to say, Camille? It ain't over, man. What you stop for? Hey, boy. What you stop for, bar boy? Let's go.
Young boy.
You can't stop.
Obtain the discipline that they can use.
Come on, baby G, let's go.
Although they're training their boxing, they're training how to keep their bodies together. Keep their minds focused.
Show me you can do it. Come on.
And they're also learning how to follow instructions. Let's get some more of that footage. Check it out.
Get up there, Meech. That's good, Meech. Baby G, push up there hard. Let's go. Push up there hard. Go. Go. Run around.
First time we in this together with Brother D. Tonight, we at the first gym once again. This time we at the boxing coach. We're talking to one of the coaches, one of the men that's responsible for this program down here. Tell us your name.
My name is Ed Bean Kendall. I'm one of the coaches down here at Berston. I boxed down at Berston before we started training. I used to box down at Berston.
Okay, brother. Everybody knows what boxing is. We know it. And I see you have a lot of young guys down here. So what's the other side of boxing?
Actually, teaching them discipline, keeping them off the streets. Just teaching them, basically how to be a man. There's a lot of them down here that, one parent homes, and we just giving them what they need outside of that to survive in this world.
You never produce a champion, but you produce some successful men. You all right?
That's right. That's the main goal. To build successful men and young women. So we have a few young women that come down do the same thing that the men do. So that's the main focus. Just make them successful in life. Give them something they can look forward to, some work, self-work.
So they all kind of like follow up academics as well.
Yeah, we have good grades. We're on the same page. Parents are on the same page with us. If the grades are bad, they get a 10, then the grades come like that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And from the looks of it, it seems like most of the young men like that. I know when I was coming up, I ain't going to be boxing unless we were fighting. But it seems as if these young brothers dress and the young women.
Yeah, they do. They love it, but it's kind of hard and strenuous in the training. But after we get the training done and we come around, we learn the technique, We travel all over. Like we just took a young man to the Olympic trial a couple weeks ago.
All right, now time
We go to Memphis, we go to Vegas, we go to Reno, we go all over, you know. And most of these young people don't get a chance to leave the state of Michigan. But through boxing, we can do that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I was informed, I think somebody was telling me that, you know, some people just give your time. This is something you want to do.
This is volunteer. This is volunteer basis. We're here from 6 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturdays. Yeah, but yeah, it's all volunteer.
See, I've never seen nothing like this on Channel 12, Channel 5, or 25. That's what I do. See, it got to be something brought to our community for the nightly news, the criminal aspect of the nightly news. So Brother D is trying to show our communities men that's doing positive things, men that's raising young boys up, even if they ain't the chief.
That's right.
But they have an active role in their life. And I believe that the world should see us in this light. They shouldn't just see us as negatives.
That's right.
Because that ain't all we are.
And the coaches down here, we got 6 coaches down here, and all of us used to box. We got Jason Kirschfield, this is the head, myself, we got Gene Gill, Marcus White, and we got Rayshawn Higgins, and Paul Sears. And all of us boxed together with Mr. Field and Mr. Walker. They brought us up, they taught us, you know, a lot of different things that we wouldn't have known without boxing. And so we just, you know, we thought, hey, after our boxing careers are over, we need to give back to something in the community. So we're here.
Yeah, that used to be the old saying. You get it, you give it back.
There you go, you got to give it back.
Somebody gave it to y'all, and now y'all giving it to the young folks. And tell Gene Gill, Brother D said what's going on.
Okay.
No, I went to school with him.
Okay.
All that. That's my guy. I remember he used to box, man. And one last question before we go. Do they all hold, is all the major events outside of Flint, or are some in Eastern Michigan?
Well, the major events like the Golden Gloves is a major event. It's now up in but when I spoke with the head guys, he said he's trying to get it back to Flint. That will be the city tournament in Flint. They'll go around Rapids, and then it's like last year it was in Vegas, the Nationals, where it was in Vegas. So, yeah, it starts here. Most other of the major events are pretty much outside of that, though.
And another question: did Clarissa Shields train here too?
Clarissa Shields? Oh yeah, she started when she didn't know how to box. She started.
Under you, brother.
Yes.
You and Eugene and the rest of them. Before we go, do you see anybody here now that may be a champion? Drop a name. We don't
doubt. Actually, all the little ones are pretty good. We have 2 younger ones that are major competitors, and they're nationally known. One is Garrett Rice. He's 14-year-old, 110 pounds. The other one is Jaquan McElroy. He's just turned 16. Unstoppable. And Jaquan McElroy and Garrett Rice. They are 2 of the most. I don't know what to explain on it. I can't bring the words to say what they are to this program and to boxing. But like I said, they're national champions. They won national champs last year in the Silver Gloves and the Junior Olympics, and looking for the same thing this year.
Some more things that go down in person.
Let's go.
The boxing program. Like I said earlier.
Come on, folks. Stop trying to be dog on shoe every other time.
Teaches how to work hard.
Come on, man.
Teaches how to stay focused.
You gotta skip a step.
Things
What
that
you
these
doing,
young
choir
children
boy?
gonna need to use in whatever endeavor in life they enter into.
Come on, keep going.
Hope you